We are tracking the tropics tonight, and we have video from the islands down in the Caribbean,
where streets are flooding and trees are falling down as that storm moves through. Hundreds of thousands of people are without power in Puerto Rico, where the storm dropped up to 10 inches of rain.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. I'm Brendan Clark.
And I'm Sophia Desasor in for Carolyn Murray. We have team coverage tonight as Hurricane Isaias approaches the East Coast. Still a lot of uncertainty about how the storm will impact us here locally. News 2's Katie Turner will tell us about changes announced in preparation for this hurricane.
But first, the Low Country's chief meteorologist Rob Fowler is tracking Isaias and has the latest from the tropics. Rob, how's it looking?
Well, I'll tell you what, just got a chance to peruse the latest discussion, and as we speculated a few minutes ago, it looks like it might hug the coast, could even make a landfall Florida before it moves kind of just off the coast of Florida and Georgia and South Carolina. So a couple of things to know. We'll get to Isaias in a moment, but you see this area way out here, that is now a tropical depression. It could get the name Josephine. It looks like it's going to be short-lived. So you're going to hear about this, but don't worry about this. Make sure you put it on the back burner. We've got enough to worry about right now because of this storm. Still, the winds are 75 miles an hour, still a hurricane as it moves off to the northwest. You see it moving through the Bahamas as we speak. Andros Island, New Providence looks like it's headed right for Nassau with some of the strongest winds potentially moving right over that area. And it's really been pretty consistent in its northwest track as again it was upgraded to a hurricane early this morning. Right now it's moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. The winds are 75. The pressure is the same as earlier, so it hasn't fallen. We look at that number because the lower the number, typically the stronger the storm. So here is that projected track, and again, some of the models telling us that that high pressure that's steering it is not going to weaken as quickly as we had hoped, meaning it probably won't turn out to sea any faster. So the bottom line is going to be very, very close to the southeast coast of Florida. Another note that we just picked up in this new hurricane track, you see what happens Monday evening as opposed to a hurricane off of our coast could weaken to a strong tropical storm of 70 miles an hour. But keep in mind right here, that's the 80-degree longitude line. That's what Charleston lies on, and it looks like it's going to be just east of there. But the cone of uncertainty is still on top of us, so there is that uncertainty, and we'll certainly try to fill in the blanks in the coming days as we get a little bit closer to potential impacts, especially for us late Sunday and into Monday.
Right now, you can download our 2020 Hurricane Ready Guide on our website, counton2.com. You can find it under the weather section called Tracking the Tropics. The governor of South Carolina says there are no plans for a state of emergency or for emergency evacuations because of Hurricane Isaias. Governor Henry McMaster and state emergency officials say they are keeping a close eye on the track of the storm and are ready for whatever it could throw to the state. But the governor says right now his experts don't think the storm is going to hit us hard enough to warrant some of those measures.
Been through these before, as you know, so we are fully prepared. As you have seen in other hurricanes and storms, so we're ready. No state of emergency should be issued for this hurricane at this time or this storm at this time. We have no intention of issuing an emergency evacuation order at this time.
North Carolina's governor did issue a state of emergency about an hour ago.
Our team coverage continues as we are now bringing us to downtown Charleston. Preparations underway for this hurricane. This is Katie Turner is live at the Battery in downtown Charleston. And Katie, some new measures just announced by the city.
That's right, Brendan, and we'll tell you about those in just a moment. But as for right now, city officials say they're already preparing for the storm. But for now, it's really just a waiting game. It's been 10 months since Hurricane Dorian slammed Charleston, and emergency crews say they're using lessons from previous storms to get ready for this weekend. They've already made some changes, including lowering the lake levels of Lake Dodier and Colonial Lake. But they're waiting to make more widespread changes until we know more.
The biggest consideration right now, obviously, is the timing of this, and does it stay well offshore, or does it make its way west closer to Charleston?
The city also telling us that garbage pickup will be altered for the rest of next week, and Operation Move Out will be ending early. Live in downtown Charleston, I'm Katie Turner. Count on 2.
Katie, thank you. You can count on news too as we track the tropics. We have a storm surge map, information on evacuation plans, and how to build your own storm kit. It's on our website, counton2.com, and we'll have much more on Hurricane Isaias throughout our show.
Today's State Superintendent of Education, Molly Spearman, announced the approval of 36 school district reopening plans. Among the school districts approved are Charleston County School District, Dorchester School District 2, Dorchester School District 4, and Georgetown County School District. For the full list of school districts across the state with approved reopening plans and what those plans entail, head to our website. That's counton2.com.
The Southeastern Conference announced yesterday that it will be adopting the new all-conference schedule for this upcoming football season, and that means those cross-conference games just won't be taking place this season. We're talking about Clemson and South Carolina. That game will not be played. It'll be the first time they won't face each other in over 100 years. Sports Director John Barron joining us now with more details. John, this is a rivalry that's been put on hold.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see a lot of that. The SEC announced yesterday that it'll be focusing on just conference play in 2020, and it seems the Pac-12 is following in their footsteps. A lot of those rival matchups won't be taking place this football season, which I know is heartbreaking for all those die-hard football fans. The good news is the season will live on, and it seems those games in 2020 will be a battle between the SEC teams. But could that change? Athletic Director Ray Tanner was asked if the governor or state leaders might force the SEC to allow them to play against Clemson. Here's what he had to say.
I haven't heard that. I probably shouldn't speak to that. I guarantee you there's interest, but whether there will be intervention or not, I couldn't say that.
Seems there's a possibility, but right now there will be no Palmetto Bowl this year. We'll have more for you later on in the show.
More than 1,300 new COVID-19 cases in the state and 45 additional deaths. That brings South Carolina up to a total of more than 88,000 cases and 1,600 deaths as of yesterday. Nearly 755,000 tests had been conducted across our state.
South Carolina Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette toured the Lowcountry today, visiting Charleston businesses that are finding ways to give back to the community during this pandemic. News 2's Danielle Hensley spoke with Evette about what she is seeing here in the Lowcountry and across the state.
From hand sanitizer to COVID-19 testing, Lowcountry businesses are switching operations to aid in the fight against COVID-19. Vicor Scientific, a full molecular diagnostic lab, is running COVID-19 testing. Co-founder Scotty Branch says Vicor began testing in the middle of March and has a turnaround time of 24 hours.
Obviously, with the anxiety that's built around COVID and this need for increased testing, we feel like we're in a great position to kind of serve the state of South Carolina.
At Vicor Scientific, they test 7,000 to 8,000 swabs a day.
Charleston's doing a great job, and it definitely is being looked at on a world stage. I had the honor of being at the National Life Science Conference just a year ago, and everybody was focused on Charleston, from our ports to MUSC.
Life Industries is known for making boat sealant, but began producing non-alcoholic hand sanitizer mid-March. They have shipped more than 100,000 bottles of sanitizer to agencies like SLED and correctional facilities.
Well, I think it's the one thing that really made us shine through all of the darkness of COVID-19 is what our companies did to turn around and pitch in and help.
Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette says South Carolinians have stepped up to the plate and have done what they can to give back during this time. Reporting in North Charleston, Danielle Hensley, Count on 2.
Charleston County is partnering with Fetter Health Care to offer COVID-19 testing during the month of August. Take a look at the dates you see on your screen. There will be drive-through and walk-up locations on the following dates: Thursday, August 6th, Saturday, August 15th, Tuesday, August 18th, and Tuesday, August 25th. For the times of the testing, head to our website and the location. We have the full breakdown on counton2.com.
Dealing with this pandemic can certainly take a toll on our mental health, especially with many out of work for an extended time or dealing with financial uncertainty. Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to hear from a mental health expert who's helping the public cope with these changes.
All right, time for Count on 2 traffic, getting you home on a Friday afternoon, ending the month of July. Looks like we've got an issue there on the Don Holt Bridge. That's slowing things down on the westbound side, a mechanical issue it appears. So be wary of that. The eastbound side should be moving pretty nicely. Meanwhile, coming over the Rabbit Bridge, not too bad into Mount Pleasant or into downtown. And coming into the city from Savannah Highway heading northbound, it looks like you've got a little delay as we get closer to the peninsula. Drive times, not too bad. 22-minute drive Mount Pleasant to West Ashley on the westbound side of 526. Here is a live look at 526. This is near the Long Point Road exit, and you can see plenty of traffic, but it's moving. Folks trying to get home for the weekend.
Next on News 2.
The Holocaust Memorial here in Marion Square vandalized. We hear from the Jewish Federation for what's next.
Overnight, a troubling release from the Jewish Federation of Charleston that the Holocaust Memorial in Marion Square was vandalized. News 2's Kate Prestak spoke with both the Federation and the City of Charleston's Police Department to see where that investigation stands right now. Kate?
That's right. The city's police department investigating the vandalism as just that, saying that there's no direct public threat here, so they do not see it as a hate crime. The vice president of the Jewish Federation of Charleston telling me that they were thankful that not only is it an ongoing investigation, but that it was reported. She explained that she had this type of hurtful act in Mount Pleasant or North Charleston. There may not have been such a push to respond, as the areas do not have a hate crime ordinance. The act is a reminder that a hate crime bill for the state needs to happen now. The Federation now part of creating a new coalition of municipalities and other groups that have been marginalized.
The LGBTQ community, the Black African American community and others, as well as there is a group in Columbia working on businesses, and the hope is to have a huge list of supporters that will say to the legislature, the time is now to pass hate crime legislation in South Carolina.
To join what they are calling the Stamp Out the Hate initiative, you can message the Jewish Federation of Charleston, or you can find it on our website. That's counton2.com. Live in downtown Charleston, I'm Kate Prestak. Count on 2.
One man is charged with murder after hitting another man in the head with a chair. Gary Brown is charged with the murder of Gerald Simmons. This happened in early June on Scott White Road in Hollywood. When police got there, they found Simmons with injuries to his head, and he died several days later.
Horry County fire crews are investigating a large fire that happened early this morning at Ocean Lake's family campgrounds. Ashley Hendricks, who's covered this fire since early in the morning, shares those details.
Minutes before 5 this morning, these homes were seen burning to the ground in Ocean Lake's family campground. One neighbor says when she saw the flames, she immediately thought to get out.
It was very scary.
Paula Prince saw gusting flames standing in her own backyard.
We thought it was starting behind our house because all we could see was this one right here blazing, just really blazing.
Homes are now left charred, some still burning. Fire Chief Joey Tanner says at least 10 buildings, several cars and golf carts were damaged in the fire. Several of those damaged were homes.
Quite a few people were in those residences. We're happy to report right now there's been no injuries, but 45 people have been affected by that, and we're working with them right now.
Fire departments from Conway to Murrells Inlet were called to the scene. 2 firefighters had to be treated for heat exhaustion.
It moved pretty quickly from a fire to a second alarm to a third alarm fire, which means we're going to bring in additional resources to help fight the fire.
Ocean Lake's family campground officials say they are helping residents and guests who were impacted this morning. Fire crews are still working to find out what caused the fire. Reporting in Surfside Beach, I'm Ashley Hendricks.
All right, we take you to the tropics. We know about Isaias, but we also have another potential storm, a tropical depression right there. That's number 10. The Hurricane Center says it may briefly strengthen enough to give it a name that would be Josephine, but this looks to be short-lived. Elsewhere, it's looking pretty quiet. Isaias is going to take all of our attention over the next few days as it moves to the northwest, roughly 15-16 miles an hour. It's been sitting and moving about that same speed here most of the day, slowing down just a little bit from yesterday when it was moving about 20 miles an hour. Now, new hurricane warnings are up. You see the warnings offshore, but we also have warnings that replace the hurricane watch onshore along the coast of Florida with tropical storm warnings in the orange, and again, even hurricane watches heading up to the north in the offshore area. So based on the new forecast, the Hurricane Center says there is the potential now that Isaias, could brush the Florida coast. Northwest movement at 15 miles an hour. The winds are 75. The pressure is 991 millibar. That's the scientific measurement of atmospheric pressure. And the lower the number, usually the stronger the storm. And what you notice is as it does brush the Florida coast, or at least in the forecast, that weakens it. So instead of maybe a Category 1 hurricane being off our coast on Monday, now the official forecast has a strong tropical storm. But again, a hurricane is 75, Category 1 hurricane, the bottom limits, and then 70 miles an hour. So still very, very strong. But we are in the cone of uncertainty. So the uncertainty is there, the fact that it could continue to move maybe a little bit farther west or even a little farther to the east. Most of the models do indicate more of a eventual turn. It depends on when that turn takes place. Some of the models do bring it more over land. Now, the reason that we think that it's going to brush the Florida coast is this high pressure that's been steering it. We were hoping it would weaken. It would find a little crevice there to kind of move around. Now it looks like the high is going to be ridging a little farther to the west. That kind of pins it up against the Florida coast. And then we've got this dip in the jet stream coming in. I think that's going to pick it up and eventually move it more to the north and east. But it's going to be very, very close close to the southeastern United States, and again, potentially could see a landfall in Florida and maybe eventually a landfall in North Carolina. But 3 scenarios we're looking at, and if you look at number 1, that would be moving onshore, more impact for us in terms of heavy rain and wind eventually. Scenario number 2 still would give us some rain and some wind, and then scenario number 3 keeps it well offshore and the impacts would be lessened quite a bit. Right now, based on what I'm looking at, probably 2 is the most likely scenario, but really all 3 are on the table still on this day. All right, for tonight, mostly clear skies, 78 inland, 78 at the beach. It was a hot day today. We got up to 96, by the way, and we're going to start the month of August in the mid-90s also. Thunderstorms possible, 94 there, 92 on Sunday. Probably if we had some impacts, it would be Monday, especially the first half of the day on Monday. And then next week, things settle down just a little bit. Still hot, though. Temperatures right around 90. Here comes your beach forecast, 94 tomorrow. Sunday and Monday, we'll be watching for potential marine impacts because of Hurricane Isaias.
And don't forget, you can always stay on top of the weather forecast 24/7 when you download our Storm Team 2 app. It has live radar, hourly and extended forecasts. All you have to do is search WCBD to find it in the App Store. News 2 is tracking the tropics. Right now, you are taking a live look at South Florida. You can see some gray skies, some waves crashing along the beach. The storm is approaching Nassau right now.
Of course, we will keep you updated on this hurricane. Another weather report coming up from the Low Country's Chief Meteorologist, Rob Fowler. That will be just around 5:30. The back-to-school debate dividing Congress. Some lawmakers want children back in the classroom for in-person learning. Others are saying teachers and students need far more resources before they return. Our Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Brendan, lawmakers here are divided on what's best for students and teachers this fall.
Not going to school has a downside.
South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says it's important to get kids back to school in person.
Bill Gates said today that children do not transmit the virus like adults.
But Dr. Anthony Fauci says children are not immune.
Well, generally, when you say a person is immune, that they're protected from getting infected. And children do get infected.
Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Dr. Robert Redfield says getting kids safely back into the classroom protects them from other health issues.
Increased drug overdose deaths and now increased suicides. I think it is really important. As a grandfather, 11 grandkids, I want these kids back in school.
Others on Capitol Hill say lawmakers have already run out of time to come up with a plan.
We got schools in Alabama that are set to open next week.
Alabama Democrat Senator Doug Jones says teachers in his state have no direction on how to protect both themselves and their students. Earlier this month, Jones introduced a bill with physician and Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy to give more resources to schools. It's gone nowhere.
To have this right here in front of us this late in this game after we've been begging to try to get this stuff on the floor of the Senate for a long time is unconscionable.
Jones and Graham are both pushing for more education funding in the next coronavirus relief bill. But negotiations between Democrats and Republicans,
Well, they're stuck, but we got to get to yes.
The current proposal includes just over $100 billion for education. Reporting on Capitol Hill, I'm Kelly Meyer. Count on 2.
We have every story from our Washington, D.C. Bureau for you to watch and read online. Click on their tab under News on our website, counton2.com.
Storm preparations underway here in downtown Charleston. Coming up, we hear from the mayor on what's being done to make sure you stay safe as the winds and rains approach.
Welcome back right now. Let's show you a live look. This is South Florida. Hurricane Isaias right now moving over parts of the Bahamas.
That is exactly right. You can see some beachgoers there enjoying the sand before that storm skims the coast of Florida.
Thanks for staying with us, everyone. We are talking about this hurricane right now making its way towards parts of the low country.
That's exactly right. And Low Country's chief meteorologist Rob Fowler has been tracking this storm from the start. We want to turn to him for the very latest. Good afternoon, Rob.
Storm Team 2 Rooftop Weather, sponsored by Superior Windows and Roofing.
Hey guys, certainly something we're watching right now. I think the big story continues to be in the short term. The heat, 96 today, will be in the mid-90s tomorrow, turning the calendar to the month of August. And it's going to be a hot weekend. Then after that, late weekend, early into next week, then we'll have to deal with potential impacts from Hurricane Isaias, which by that time could be a tropical storm based on the official forecast. Here's a look at the wide tropical satellite. And again, want to point out a couple of things. Number one, you can see Isaias through the Bahamas right there. You can also notice some other waves that we're keeping an eye on. This one right here, that's the one that the Hurricane Center said is a tropical depression. Could become a tropical storm, Josephine, but it will be short-lived based on the forecast. Well, we continue to watch the hurricane, 75-mile-per-hour winds moving northwest at about 15 miles an hour, moving through the Bahamas as we speak. Of course, Andros Island, then you've got New Providence. Nassau looks like it's in the crosshairs right now, and it's really been pretty consistent, that movement to the north and west. It was a little faster yesterday, moving 20, so it has slowed just a little bit, but this is the latest track, moving northwest at 15 with the winds of 75 miles an hour. And as you can certainly see, the track does take it kind of paralleling the Florida coast and then bending over towards South Carolina. And the closest approach to us probably would be Monday late afternoon into the early evening. And at that time, probably will be a tropical storm. So just off the coast. The center staying off the coast, but keep in mind now, a hurricane is not just a point on a map, and that's why impacts certainly are a possibility. We'll kind of break that down for you in the main forecast in just a few minutes. But certainly in this kind of situation, you got to be careful, you got to be prepared, and I know the city of Charleston is doing just that. Here's Katie Turner downtown with the latest on what the city is doing to prep.
Rob, Charleston and emergency crews across the city and county say they're used to preparing for major hurricanes, even ones bigger than this, but that doesn't mean they're taking anything lightly. Emergency crews say they're using lessons learned from those previous storms to get ready for this weekend. As always, focus is on downtown Charleston and the flooding that's expected whenever a major storm comes through. The mayor says his emergency teams haven't let the pandemic get in their way of preparing for moments like these.
We've ordered extra pumps to be on hand and stand by in the event those are needed. We're certainly praying that this hurricane stays offshore. I think the current track has it just offshore. We want it to stay there, but we are making preparations and we'll be ready if need be.
Officials from the city of Charleston say they have upwards of 75,000 sandbags to distribute to residents and business owners. We'll have more on preparations coming up at 6. Live in downtown Charleston, I'm Katie Turner. Count on 2.
Katie, thank you. Sandbags are available for people living in Goose Creek. The city says you can stop at the Goose Creek Fire Department headquarters station on Button Hall Avenue. People are being asked to take 10 bags or fewer. Berkeley County is also giving out sandbags. We have that information on our website. And right now you can download our 2020 Hurricane Ready Guide on our website. That's counton2.com. You can find it under the weather section called Tracking the Tropics. We have storm surge maps, information on evacuation plans, and how to build a storm kit. Count on us and Storm Team 2 to guide you through hurricane season with the latest, most accurate information.
New at 5 o'clock, COVID-19, it has impacted us all, leaving some people out of a job for an extended period of time, most students switching from the classroom to online learning, and financial uncertainty for others. News Raymond Owens reports how experts are seeing an increase with those dealing with mental health issues.
COVID-19 has caused a number of challenges for mental health experts who are helping the public cope with a number of changes.
Mental health is very important. 1 in 5
U.S. citizens will have a diagnosable mental health issue in their lifetime.
Berkeley Community Mental Health Center provides treatment for 3,500 patients every year. What used to be a full parking lot and a full lobby is now empty. They've moved to treating patients remotely or from tents outside whenever possible.
Back in March of 2020, we sent 75% of our staff home and provided telehealth services and telepsychiatry services.
At first, COVID changes actually lowered the number of patients reaching out for help in March through May. But that has changed. They saw a dramatic increase of patients, 33% more from May to June. They expect that to continue.
It's very important, if you need services, to please contact your area mental health center. And for Berkeley County citizens, please contact us at Berkeley Community Mental Health Center. We can talk through any issues that you may be having.
If you need help, we have information for you at our website, counton2.com. In Monk's Corner, I'm Raymond Owens. Count on 2.
No visitors allowed for inmates through August 31st. The State Department of Corrections made that announcement Thursday on Twitter, citing the pandemic. The agency also not accepting new inmates until further notice. Parole hearings are continuing virtually.
Some South Carolina students now need 2 hepatitis A shots in order to attend school and child care. They are required for children born after January 1st, 2019, and children starting 5K this year. In South Carolina, all children over the age of 3 must have an immunization record or medical, religious, or 30-day special exemption.
You don't need to submit SAT or ACT scores when applying for Clemson in the 2021-22 school year. The university made that announcement yesterday, citing issues caused by the pandemic with those tests. If you don't submit test scores, it will not affect your eligibility for financial aid.
Charleston County School District wants to hear from parents about how their children will return to school this fall. Parents must fill out enrollment option forms by Monday to help the district better prepare for a safe return. We have the link to that form on our website, counton2.com.
A back-to-school supply drive is happening tomorrow. The Community Resource Center in Somerville will collect various school supplies. Those include notebooks, erasers, and Lysol wipes. You can drop them off from 11 to 4 tomorrow at the Rollins Edwards Community Center in Somerville.
A reminder, you can pick up the gear you would have received if you were expected to run the Cooper River Bridge Run. There is a 2-day drive-through packet pickup at the Charleston Area Convention Center in North Charleston. It runs today and tomorrow and includes a shirt, head buff, and keychain that you get if you registered for this year's race.
Next on News 2.
The Charleston Battery are back in action tonight. We'll hear from them before they take the field when we come back.
All right, we're taking the boats out for tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like a pretty tranquil day. Southwest winds about 10 to 15 knots in the harbor. We do have offshore small craft advisories up because seas will be building ahead of Isaias, about 5 to 7 feet there. Southwest wind 5 to 10 knots, Lake Moultrie. The tide is actually coming in. 6:32 will be the official high tide, all the way back out about 1 o'clock early Saturday morning. You're watching News 2 at 5:30.
There's a look at what's trending on our website and our app. A man charged with murder after hitting another man in the head with a chair. This happened back in June. The State Emergency Management Division says residents in South Carolina should prepare for possible effects from the hurricane. And State Superintendent of Education Molly Spearman approved 36 additional school reopening plans today.
Stay in the know on the go with the News 2 app, sponsored by Buchanan Tile and Design.
This is the Palmetto Ford Truck World Sports Desk. Come in. You'll get the best total deal on the new Ford F-150 and Super Duty.
The Charleston Battery gave us new hope for the season, and after putting on a clinic against Atlanta United, the Battery feels the same way. The Charleston Battery are just one win away from taking the lead in the group, and it just so happens the only team standing in their way is the Tampa Bay Rowdies. With a win tonight, the Battery can jump into the lead, and after their victory last week, they feel like their confidence is at an all-time high.
Very pleased. Being able to get 3 guys on the score sheet, 4 different players playing the ball in, and it could have been more than 3, and that was the positives. After having a result like we did in our first game, sometimes it takes you a while to get going, but we jumped out of the gates, we got after them, and we put the ball in the back of the net, and we know we're going to need that, going on the road now.
The Battery will kick things off tonight at 7:30 p.m.
It's time now for Low Country Catch of the Day.
Let's take a look at our Low Country Catch of the Day. This is Chase holding a monster Arkansas blue catfish that weighs 60 pounds. Guys, I can tell you right now, I'm terrified to go in the water wherever that is, which would be Lake Moultrie. So we appreciate the submission, Chase. All right, here's so you can get your catch on the news. Send us an email, a picture of you and your catch. Write the subject as my catch of the day. Could be anything from fishing, deer, boar, turkey. Doesn't matter. Just tell us your name, where you caught it, and how big it is. We'll pick one every day and show it at the end of the show. So get on out there. And as always, happy hunting.
Keeping hospital patients safe through a storm looks a lot different in a pandemic world. And right now, medical experts along the coast are finding ways to get patients ready to move in case Isaias hits hard. Lauren Crawford has more from Myrtle Beach.
Hospitals are preparing for two disasters at once. Typically, hospitals would evacuate inland during a hurricane, but limited space and COVID-19 challenges have many hospitals planning to shelter in place. Hurricane Isaias' path could lead it up the East Coast towards hospitals already overwhelmed with COVID-19 patients.
Regardless of being in a pandemic or not, we have to have an evacuation plan in the event that a storm is far greater than any hospital could withstand.
Any other year, hospitals along the coast would evacuate inland and move patients to another hospital. That was before testing requirements, mask wearing, and social distancing all became a factor.
We have started emergency management planning just like everyone along the coast, knowing that an evacuation is not going to be an option.
Hospital leaders say sheltering in place may be what's safest this year. A South Carolina Hospital Association leader says CEOs of coastal hospitals will likely have say on whether to evacuate or shelter in place in the middle of a hurricane.
You have to think about what transportation access is going to look like. And again, what are the requirements from the receiving hospital? Do they have enough beds or staff to absorb the coast when they are experiencing surge already?
Now, state leaders say all hospitals must follow any mandate from Government Master. Hospitals can request an exemption when there is a mandatory medical evacuation. Reporting Myrtle Beach, I'm Lauren Crawford.
Storm Team 2 Rooftop Weather, sponsored by Superior Windows and Roofing.
Well, a hot way to close out the month of July as another day in the 90s, well into the 90s today, 96 the official high. There's the live look from our News 2 rooftop cam. Let's see what's going on in Shem Creek, and the creek is hopping tonight. Got the kayakers, the paddle boarders, the boaters, the dolphins are out there, I'm sure, as well. And it has been very, very busy as the temperature again did get up to 96 today after a low of 77, not real low. 91 and 73, your average is 101. That's the record going back to this date in 1999. So we close out July with one of our really hottest months in terms of the number of 90-degree days. 27 today, 23 in a row. And we're still counting as we turn the calendar. Here's Hurricane Isaias, again, generally in the Bahamas, the southern Bahamas as it's moving to the north and west, and it's a broad spectrum of some rain and wind that's kind of raking the Bahamas as we speak right now, heading to the northwest at about 15 miles an hour. Down the road, we'll certainly have to keep an eye on this. They do have hurricane warnings up for the offshore waters and right along the coast. Some of these areas were under a hurricane watch, upgraded to a warning. Warnings are issued 36 hours out from potential possibility of hurricane conditions. Tropical storm warnings then inland away from the coast. Now, as we track Isaias, it's moving northwest at 15. The winds are 75 miles an hour. It was upgraded to a hurricane early this morning. Winds were 80. They bumped it back down to 75. Now the official track continues to keep it generally a Category 1 hurricane, strengthening it just a little bit as it starts to make its way towards the Florida coast, maybe even brushing the Florida coast, and then it's going to take a bit of a bend. The question is, when does it make that bend? Obviously, the earlier the better for us. The later, the more that we would have to keep an eye on more significant impacts. But this is the official track. Here's the cone of uncertainty, basically the eastern half of South Carolina in the cone. And at the closest point to us, offshore, generally the wind's 70 miles an hour. And a lot of that is the fact that we think as it brushes Florida, it will probably weaken just a little bit. And the computer models also kind of in agreement that we see most of the track staying just offshore, but there are some outliers that actually do show a potential maybe brush with Florida, maybe South Carolina, maybe North Carolina down the road. But here's what we're banking on. This ridge of high pressure we thought would be weakening and the storm would kind of move right around it. Well, now it looks like it may stay stronger a little longer, and what that means is that's going to come closer to the southeast coast before it does get picked up by a trough of low pressure moving in, dipping the jet stream. That's going to move it on out. Upper 70s for the inland areas, beaches as well, mostly clear. It's warm, it's muggy, no doubt about that. As we move on into the first weekend in August, another hot one for tomorrow, 94, probably a feels-like temperature, 105 by the afternoon. Scattered shower, thunderstorm possible Saturday and Sunday. Impact days for us would most likely be late Sunday into the first part of the day on Monday. And then next week, we'll see things settle down just a little bit, but still hot in the low 90s on Tuesday. Heading to the beach tomorrow, pretty good day. Sunday, not too bad. Then Monday would be our impact day where we could see some stronger gusty winds right along the coast. You're watching News 2 at 5:30. Pretty quiet on a Friday afternoon, getting home for the weekend. We haven't had too many problems. There was a disabled vehicle on the Don Holt a little while ago. It looks like that's been cleared up now, and I see a lot of green in our traffic flow. That means folks are moving, trying to get home to enjoy all of the weekend. 526 looking good coming over the waterways, as is the Ravenel Bridge and Savannah Highway. A little more congestion heading northbound towards the city, as you can certainly see. 19-minute drive to get you to Somerville, heading westbound on 26. We're going to take you to 526 over in Mount Pleasant, mile marker 28, Long Point Road, and you can see lots of sunshine and not a lot of traffic here on this Friday afternoon.
Santee Cooper has announced they will freeze rates for some customers for the next 4 years. This freeze would start next month. It would last until December of 2024. The rate freeze, part of the 2020 settlement with customers, that class action lawsuit over the costs from the failed nuclear reactor project outside Columbia.
Next on News 2.
We are continuing our coverage of the tropics as we track Isaias approach the United States.
More on the preparations being made, the latest on the track, and more in live team coverage next at 6.